Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Becca, and today I'm going to be doing a little Sims build, and it's going to be a starter home. And I have been into this Tudorish style housing, and I really wanted to do this. It wasn't that easy because you're in a budget when you're kind of doing a starter home in The Sims, and I really tried my best to use the packs I had and everything to do this starter home. And I did eventually change a couple of things that I actually wanted to add to this home as well. But besides that, it was actually really fun to do, especially this roof. I normally take a while to decide what I'm going to do with roofs, but I kind of changed my mind after a while, and I got to this little style that you guys are seeing right now, and I just thought it was so cute, and I really enjoyed doing it and everything, because when it comes to designing roofs, I'm not the best person to design a roof, but I think I've been building homes in The Sims for such a long time, especially ever since I restarted playing the game, that now when I sit down to just build a house, I'll just do the entire front of the house first, just like the outside, the exterior of the house, and I focus on the roof to make it look cohesive to the things I want. And I'm actually relearning and learning new things as well, especially when I don't want certain parts of the roof to show. I can just put another roof and take the part that I don't want out. So it kind of does help a lot when you literally get into these little moments that you just try to figure out. But for me, I think the hardest part doing this home was figuring out the color of these houses. And this starter home, I took a while because I changed the color of the roof later to a darker roof. I don't know, I don't really like light roofs. I have this thing that I really like a darker roof, but I'm trying. There is a home that I'm building. I haven't touched it this week or last week either, but it's a really big house. But I am actually really trying just to undo not having darker roofs, but I do end up changing this house's roof to a darker color because I thought it would look prettier. And now that I'm on the inside of this little starter home, I really love these little chairs, and it just matched so much. I do believe I do show me taking these chairs off later on, the two on the side, and I just leave the bigger couch, but I do end up putting it back later on because I thought there was too much empty space and I could actually manage to put everything there. I do take the fireplace out because it didn't really go with what I was planning and everything. So I ended up doing that off camera. I actually put a little dresser drawer there because I don't know, there's some dresser drawers that could just be placed as a little table because they're so cute and I love them. The only custom content that I was going to use were going to be the wardrobes that you guys will see later on. I didn't even put me building it because I don't use it. I take them out completely, simple for the fact that I didn't want this build to have any custom content. So I do take out the wardrobes, and this entire build then is just 100% it's just game with the packs that I own and no custom content. Besides that, I really enjoyed just building all of this, and I have never seen me build such a tiny room. When we get to the upstairs, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It was crazy because I really enjoy making big rooms and cluttering everything up, and the more clutter I put, the more realistic it normally I get this vision of realism because the house is really cluttered and everything. But I couldn't really clutter this house. I do go into the debug menu at one point, but I mostly use that to put in like some toys in the kids' bedroom because I thought that would be appropriate because it's a child's bedroom. Even though this is a starter home, the child really does need a little bit of clutter. And when I went to this house, like the story is like the parents saved up as much as they could, and like this is the house they could afford. It had a little small room for their son, and there was a bigger room for them and a small bathroom, which I still cannot believe I made this bathroom function. It's all functionable. You can take a shower, you can go to you can go to the loo. Everything is literally perfect. It's all functional. And I really enjoyed this whole storyline, like they come from like a very humble beginning, and they're just starting out with their lives, and this is the house that they managed to buy for themselves. And you can literally just start out with this house even for like a single sim. I think you don't really have to use like the other bedroom as like if you don't want to, you can turn it into like a home office or something. But for the storyline that I picked, it's mostly just like they're a couple, and I actually decided to go with both of the parents are gardeners, and that's why afterwards when you see me actually going back to the landscaping, you can actually see like things I'm doing, and I take a while with the landscaping. I don't know why. It was easier for me to build this house in a way than it was for me to like just sit down and think of landscaping, especially since the fact that I didn't remember that I had put terrain paint before. Like you guys are seeing me put the terrain paint now, and then when I come back, my terrain paint was like gone because I had left this build like alone for a really long time, and when I got back, I didn't really realize that like I put terrain paint. I only went to realize when I sat down to literally edit this video and like to do this big build and everything and do the voiceover. I realized that my terrain paint had like disappeared, but I do go in, I make it better, so everything does end up well. But the weirdest part was that I had so much trouble like trying to understand or trying to make my brain function in a way that I could make this landscaping work, because the things I was trying to put down before, like the trees and everything, they weren't really working out for me. And every time I tried to do more, I was just like, no, this isn't pretty, this is not what kind of I envisioned for like a small family who probably are starting out, and both of the parents are gardeners. I think they would at least have like a little prettier plants like around the house. So I do end up changing a couple of things. Like right now I'm fixing the terrain paint again because the game had deleted it. I don't know what's going on. I've seen that the other people have also had this problem. Like they save the terrain paint and then like when you go back, there is nothing there. So I don't know why the game deletes all our hard work in terraining, all our hard work in like doing all this terrain paint. But yeah, it was kind of fun redoing this. So I'm not gonna say that I had like a problem with it. Don't worry, I do end up fixing that little mistake that happened over there, but later on, because now I'm kind of planning to try and put like another fence using like the little fences from the debug and everything, because I don't know why, I just rather have a house with a fence. Even in the game, I just really rather have a house with a fence. But it didn't work for this one because it wasn't really fitting like what I was trying to do. So I just had to go and I had to fix everything. Right now I'm putting like the trash can on the other side of the house, and I am literally just taking my time. Even though I'm taking my time putting this trash can, at this moment I was literally just trying to remember, how am I going to do this? Because this fence is not working, but it worked with the plants and I really liked it. And then I was going to use the fence again, but like with other plants in the front. But I eventually ended up changing that. I actually ended up putting one of the little platforms that we have that we normally put like to make the patio and everything, to put the stairs and everything. So I actually ended up using that as like, it was like these little pot plants that you put like in the front of the house, and it looked so pretty because afterwards I ended up putting a little fence again, and I just loved it so much. You guys are gonna see that later on, but right now I'm just like picking out some random things from the debug section because I needed to clutter this kid's room, because I did not want this kid to not have a pretty room. He had such like pretty, the blue and everything. I just loved the wallpaper. I used the exact same wallpaper in the parents' room, but it's like in a lighter shade. I think it's like in a peachy shade. So I really enjoyed doing this, and I really wanted to clutter this kid's room a little bit, just a little bit, you know. Even if you're humble, you still have some stuff. And I also decided to give him that little wall light that normally the kids have to prevent them from seeing monsters in the bedroom. But I can normally see that, you know, even though he does come from like a humble family, he's probably like a very smart kid. You know, he has his logic is like really high up. He probably wants to go to the best schools. I literally believe that like the sim does want to have like a really crazy career. Maybe he's going to be a scientist, or maybe he's going to be like a doctor or something. So I haven't really decided what this kid is going to be, like their son is going to be like, but I really imagine them like, you know, all the money that they make from planting and like selling the plants and everything for the gardening and that they do. I just like decided that this money is going to pay for his college education, and eventually he's going to buy his parents like a huge house without them knowing. And I just thought of like this really cute, amazing story for this family, and this is technically how I ended up building the home. I do end up taking that hedge out because I did not like those bushes there. So I do end up taking them out, and I put these little flower bushes in place. I changed their colors, and I placed them on the side of the house because I thought it was going to be, it just looked really pretty because there was a lot of nothingness around this house, and I really needed to fill the nothingness with landscaping. And I just decided to do that. The only thing I forgot to do, which I did remind myself when I was like editing this video and doing this voiceover now, which will be fixed before I upload this to the gallery, I will be removing the flooring from this little thing that I did, because I built this little thing, like I'm gonna call it my pot plant, and I forgot to remove the flooring so like the plants could actually like reach the ground and everything. So I will be removing that, or not, because it depends on you guys, but I think I will be removing it because I don't know. I kind of think it would be a bit weird, you know, it's just like, oh look, there's cement there. No, so I will definitely be removing it. So it just literally looks like there's a little planter there, and you can see the dirt in there. So I'm going to be doing that like before I upload this to the gallery. But besides that, I really enjoyed building the starter home. I do plan on making another starter home, but right now I am actually finishing the really big house that I'm building, which I literally decided I already kind of know what the story behind that huge house will be, but I really plan on doing another starter home. I've actually seen a couple of really cute starter homes, like not starter homes, like cute, like tiny homes, and I think that would be perfect for actual starter home. And I'm gonna go with that because I really enjoy this whole thing of trying to build small homes. Because if you guys don't know, I really like building big houses. I know they take a really long time and it's a lot of planning, but I don't know, I just really enjoy building big homes. And when it came to building a starter home, I saw that it's kind of really difficult because you can only go so far with the budget, and for the fact that I have like limited Sims packs, it kind of is a mind-blowing thing. So it's kind of crazy. I guess it's not that bad because for a lot of people who don't really have like all the Sims packs like me, it actually is pretty cool because like if they have the packs that I use, for them it's like, you know, it's perfect the way it is. So it's just gonna get better. Here I'm kind of ending the whole placing and fixing the landscaping and everything. I put these little, I actually made all of these terrain paints on the bottom, so when I make my Sims plant, I actually know where they're gonna plant, so like they can harvest everything. Like I really want to get cottage living for these exact reason, because I really want to put all of the little things that they have in cottage living, and I am like dying to get my hands on that. But I got seasoned, so I'm pretty happy because I got the bee boxes and I love playing with the bees. So I'm pretty excited to play with more bees. But this house doesn't have bees. Maybe I could have made them, maybe they could have lived off honey, like off the bees. But no, this one, they are farmers, gardeners, and they make their living out of planting. You know, it's a small home, it's a starter, so I really enjoyed building this, and I kind of filled in the nothingness with all of the trees, so I really enjoyed that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this video, and I'll see you guys next week. Well, actually this week because there is a video, and next week for another Sims build. And I'll leave you guys with the screenshots. So thank you very much for being here today. Bye guys!